Good morning, traders. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. So, as you guys probably know, I decided to take a little bit of a break from YouTube just to really focus on my strategy, make sure that I'm really giving you guys the top content. So now that I got that focused on and my strategy, I improved that and everything. As always, I'm going to be doing stock market review, doing some price action review, and most importantly, I'm going to be really focusing on individual stocks rather than indexes. I just believe there's better opportunity on individual names rather than index. If you guys would like me to go through my whole entire stock watch list I watch on a daily basis, which is I would say about 90 stocks I watch. Leave a like, comment, yes. Just let me know that you would like me to review the whole entire list. I I'm just gonna go over the names that I'm holding and then the Magnificent Seven I'm gonna go over as well. So without further ado, let's get into this. So first stock that I'm in currently right now is going to be NVS. So right now, where I ended up buying NVS was right here. I liked how we had a decent amount of volume come in when we broke this area. It's not as much as I would like to see when we break this line, but it's still decent. As you can see on the weekly, let's go over to there. So you can see that this is making a new all-time high. It's breaking out of this range, and you can see that we never got a close above this level. So if today's candle can hold above 105.86, I believe there's huge upside on NVS. I believe they're a Chinese name too. I might be wrong on that, so you might want to check me, but I think they are a Chinese name. The other stock that I'm holding right now is NVIDIA. So I got NVIDIA right here. I believe, yeah, I bought them for 520. And then what I did was I ended up buying a little bit more up at 544, put my stop to break even. So right now my stop is at 520. My plan is to hold NVIDIA as long as it stays within trend. I'll use the 50 EMA for a trailing stop. Right now my stop is at 520. So until it hits 520, I'm going to stay in it. It looks like it's going to consolidate today. Let me just see. Yeah, looks like a little bit of consolidation, which I'm not complaining about. I'd rather consolidation than a big drop down, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but this is what I think. Other position I'm holding is ANET. As you see, we broke out of here. We got some heavy volume, so definitely some big whales are involved to this one. If we can maintain what was the level? If we can maintain 239 on the breakout, as you can see on the weekly charts, that was a major level. We had a little bit of a base, a little bit of consolidation here. So this break is going to be huge. I think I bought them at 246. I know I bought them like maybe 244. Yeah, I bought them like right here. There's like a little bit of pullback that day, and I got them on there. Just got lucky with it. My stop loss right now is at 235 still. Once we hit 254.26, because that means I made one multiple. It would be a 1-to-1 risk reward on that trade. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be moving my stop loss to break even once we hit 254.26, and I'll double my position so I have the same risk profile as just one position. It will bring up my average cost per basis, but protecting your downside is the most important thing. Then CRM is the other trade I'm in. As you see here, we got some heavy volume. So I do think that I got into this one yesterday, so I do think that there's some big fish involved in this one. As we go to the weekly, you can see even on the weekly, we never got a close above this level at 266.27. We've been basing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So ideally, that's the type of base you want. Volume was a little bit higher than I would like to see for a base, but still, it's decent. On the break, we got increasing volume, which is always big. And then you can see on the daily too, we never got a daily close, like a strong close above this level. And then for yesterday, we got a decently strong close with heavy volume above that level. So I think CRM definitely has room to 300 in my opinion. And then the Mag 7, let's see how we're doing so far. So on Apple, level let's see what we're doing pre-market. So we're at 186. So what I would really like to see on Apple is if we can get a move above 187.45, I might be interested in opening a position, but it's just looking very weak at the moment. Volume is pretty high around 200 SMA and EMA, so I'm not shocked about that. That's definitely where some of the banks were entering, in my opinion. But as you see here, I still think that you could retest 187.45 and push back down to 169. But as always, price action is king. So just wait for the setup to show. If we end up breaking up above 187.45 today, it might be worth getting in and targeting 198 and then all-time highs and see how far we can push. Microsoft, let's see how we're doing there. So originally I wanted to get involved into Microsoft. Let me see how the volume closed out. Yeah, so the volume was just very weak. I didn't like that we broke an all-time high on very weak volume. Compare it to NVIDIA when we broke an all-time high. You can see here that we had very heavy volume on the break and still are getting heavy volume. That's what I would ideally want to see to get me into Microsoft. So if we can get heavy volume today, I'll definitely start a position in Microsoft, put my stop loss, I don't know, let's just say that we close at 390 today with some strong volume. I would potentially put my stop loss for 5% max, so probably down to 370. But that's why I'm going to be looking on Microsoft, NVIDIA, I already went over. Meta, let's see how we're doing on Meta. So right now, pre-market, we're at 370. So that's going to put us right here. So we might get into some consolidation. I like the volume. It's decent. But let's see what we're looking like on the weekly. Normally, I would get involved in something like this, but it just seems like it's getting a bit carried away in terms of how far it moved from my buy point. So I'm not really, the risk reward in my opinion is not there. It's not overextended, that's for sure. It might be worth looking into. I don't know. It's not typically the setup I would usually take, but it's definitely a high probability setup. You can see clearly that it's in a nice uptrend there. Tesla, let's see how we're moving on Tesla. So we had some decent volume on Tesla, I guess, right? Nothing crazy, but it was definitely increased. So we're at 220.67, right? Are we? Did we get that big of a drop? Oh, wow, we did. So yeah, it closed below 226.44, which is a big level. So I would expect to move back down to 194 then. As you can see, the last time that we did that, last time that we broke 226.44, it moved right back down to there. Now it could be something like this where it's a false breakdown setup. So just keep that in mind. Look for the heavy volume on Tesla, but I'm expecting to move back down to at least 200 on Tesla. And if we get heavy volume at that level, then I'll be interested in starting a position possibly. Tesla is just a very hard stock to trade, in my opinion. There's no clear boundaries that it really respects. It doesn't really respect supply demand. It doesn't really respect Fibonacci. It doesn't really respect the EMAs. It's just a very hard stock to trade. Google's not looking terrible. I was looking to get into Google. The issue with Google is it was not really matching my criteria. We didn't have the heavy volume on the break of that 141.42 level, so I had no interest in it. So we're still trading at 141.30. It's where we're trading at today so far in open. So if we can get some heavy volume, I might be interested, but I have to see how that candle closes. Amazon, let's see how we're doing on Amazon. I know Amazon was pretty strong these last couple of days, and originally I did have a position in them. So we're at 155.28, so we're a little bit higher still in inside candle. I bought them originally back here on this candle. As you can see here, the break of this level back there on 12.15, we had heavy volume. I ended up selling them right at this candle just because it was not doing as I expected, so I trimmed my position, then got out of it. We had this little pullback last week, and now we're starting to rally back upwards. So this was my original price target at 157.49, so I'm just going to delete that. But Amazon's not a terrible setup. I would definitely watch a gap fill at 164, and then I would see on the weekly how it looks. On the weekly, it doesn't look bad. If we can close above 156 today, that would definitely be I would be bullish on Amazon. SPX. Actually, we'll use ES. Let's see where we're. Actually, better yet, we'll use SPY to see where we're opening today. So 476.88. Let's see where that puts us on. We'll do the 4 hour. So it looks like we're just gonna get consolidation today. Keep in mind that this weekend's a 3-day weekend, so I doubt that we're gonna get any type of big move. It's probably just gonna be a lot of chop, in my opinion. But yeah, Qs are moved the same way. So